Hello, 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 everyone. How are you guys? My name is Sakia Donaldson, and we are back with another episode of Unlock the Science of Beauty, powered by my Ivana. So I'm super excited today to have this amazing, amazing young lady join us today. So today we have Evonya Easley. And I met Ivana last year sometime. And when she told me about her business and what it was that she was doing, I was floored. And then once we actually met, and I was able to see what she actually did, I was even more just blown away. So before we get into our webinar today, Ivana, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do and how we found ourselves in this space.
For sure. Thank you again for having me as a guest. And Yvonne, yeah, the yeah at the end.
Ivanya, Ivanya.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, so I am like you, started as a certified personal stylist and still do personal styling, and then was able to pivot that into creating VR, 3D, virtual reality fashion shows. And now, not even just fashion, but using that technology for other industries, whether it's retail, automobile, hair, beauty, all the things. So, background, went to school for poli sci, got a master's in finance, worked as a professional accountant, and then was styling on the side and was able to turn that into a business, working on movies, TV, film, and then private clients, companies, and organizations. And now I'm into the technology and combining my love of fashion with technology, similar to what you did with science and beauty.
Mm-mm. It ain't similar.
Well, I mean, that you went and put the science with the fashion.
Kind of, sort of, but not the way that you did. Because that is like super, super, super impressive. So,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So, how long has you been a wardrobe stylist?
Oh, now 15 years. I've been doing this full time 15 years.
Nice, nice, nice. So, me personally,
Yes.
right? The metaverse scares me. It just do. So, when you told me about these fashion shows that you put on um, through virtual reality, I couldn't fathom like the concept, right?
Yeah.
I've been a part of many fashion show productions from
Yeah.
the front of the house to the
Yeah.
back of the house. And we all know it's very expensive to
Yeah.
put on fashion shows. It's very time consuming and it's a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
So tell me how you got the ideal to incorporate VR and fashion
Fashion.
shows.
Yes. So, we had the pandemic. We were all at home. And so I was creating community and trying to stay connected to my clients, even though they weren't going out as much. And then also support all the businesses that I shop with, because I shop a lot. 90% with Black women owned businesses across the nation, but a lot here in Atlanta. So we were throwing these little like Zoom parties every week. And then we was like, hey, let's connect in person. It's finally starting to die down, the pandemic, and we can come back outside. So we threw a traditional fashion show in Buckhead. It was amazing. We had like 150 people come out. I didn't even know I could bring that many people out. So it was great. And so once we did that, then the world started to open back up and everybody started to do their fashion shows again and all the things. And so I was like, well, how do I distinguish myself from the market where everybody's doing a fashion show, whether it's, at Lennox or it's in Greenberg? Like, how do you distinguish yourself? And so my tech partner, shout out to Corey Reese, he had showed me, he's the first person who showed me a VR headset, and he showed me just the avatar in it. And she was walking towards me, and I was like, oh my God, it feels like she's right there in front of me. But it was just an avatar. So it wasn't a real person. She didn't have on no clothes. She was just like green colors. So I was just like, this would be so cool though if it was a real person wearing real clothes, a real model. And then he was like, yeah, that would be cool. I said, we should do it. Let's look into it. So we started digging and doing the research. And like the fall of 2022,
Mm-hmm.
I started trying to figure out who did this, who could we hire to produce us a VR show, and we started reaching out to people, but we wasn't getting a good response. Most people were just like, "We can help you with the footage once you make it. Like, give us the content and we can present it to your audience." But nobody was trying to tell us how we could actually make it. So we took it upon ourselves to be like, "Let's do it ourselves. We'll figure it out." So from there is how I created the VR fashion show.
Okay. So what differences and similarities are there in producing a virtual reality fashion show? Because, like you said, when you went to people to help you kind of flush this ideal out, they wanted you to already come to them with a finished product,
Yeah,
right? And then they would take it and do what they did with it. But
yeah,
you first had to produce the actual show.
yeah.
So, being a stylist, working in this space, how different and similar is it to producing a VR show? So we'll start with the similarities
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we filmed it just like you would film a traditional fashion show. So, like, we had to do a fitting, we had to get the models, the makeup, the designers, the boutiques. We had to find a venue. The biggest difference though is that we pre-recorded it to be able to have in the VR headset. Because once we film the content, we have to edit it. We have to add the music. So when we did the show, it was just like you would do back of house of a traditional fashion show, except there were no audience members when we filmed it. It was literally just us, the venue, the models, the designers, and the dressers and team. So that part was very similar, just without an audience. And then the audience came later when we presented it to everyone in the VR headsets.
Okay, that's insane, right? Okay, so those are the similarities.
Yes.
Give me a few of the differences.
The difference is, of course, there is no live audience because we pre-recorded the content. And so the great thing, of course, is when we make a mistake. Like if you're watching a live show and she fall, that's it. That's on her. So
She's
when we,
roadkill. She's
yes,
fashion roadkill.
yes. So when we were doing it, of course, we can make it perfect because we just be like, do it again. It's not right. Let's do it again. But luckily, everybody we did good. We was able to get it done in about 6 hours with the
Oh,
lunch break.
nice.
So I had planned for 8 hours, but we did it in six. And he took the content, added the music. We asked each designer what song they wanted, just like you would for a traditional show. But the difference is he went and took all that content, edited it so that everybody had their own show, added in the credits, like a mini fashion movie, basically. But instead of in 2D, well, we actually filmed it in 2D and 3D because when we presented it, we had a general admission version where they could just watch it on a monitor. And then we had the VIP where you could watch it in the headset. And as you saw, when you watch it in the headset, you feel like you've been transported to wherever we film it. So in this case, we filmed it by a pool. So we wanted to transport you where you felt like you were poolside watching the show, that the models are looking directly into your eye. It doesn't matter if you're on the third row or the fifth row, you're going to be front row because
Front row.
everybody's front row with the VR headset. And so they're modeling for you. You can see the clothes, you can see the movement of the clothes, you can see the name, you can look at their shoes, you can move your head up, down, and around. It's a 180-degree view. So it just made it an immersive experience while you're sitting in a room somewhere else.
Honey, when I put the headset on, and I had to do like this because the girl was like walking.
I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, I can
Yeah,
reach
and I
out
just
and
was
touch
like, oh,
it."
and now I see, because when I used to see people with the headsets, I'd be like, they look crazy, they doing all this stuff, but then now I'm doing it, right? So that's so interesting. And the thing that, so many things happened during COVID, right?
Yes.
The innovators really took the opportunity to innovate,
Yeah.
right? And so many things came from COVID that I think we never would have, experienced.
Yeah.
People just had to find super creative ways to engage with their community,
Yeah.
continue to build their community. So I definitely commend you and your partner for taking that opportunity and
Yeah.
making it, work for you.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
okay, so we all know, working in the fashion space, working in the space, right? We're all creatives, right?
Yes.
We're visual people. I think this VR thing takes it a little to the next level as far as visuals.
Yes.
So when you're pitching this to a designer, right? Like, hey, I want to produce a virtual reality fashion show for you. How do you translate the benefits of that, because tech is scary,
Yes.
right? Like if you don't understand it,
Yeah.
it's very scary and it's very high level
Level.
to a
Yes.
lot of people. So
Yes.
how are you pitching this ideal to brands, clothing brands, beauty brands, things like that, to be able to produce these type of shows?
Well, it helps that we created our show as proof of concept. So I could show you better than I could tell you. But for the brands that got on board before we did it, and they were just like, all right, we trust in that whatever you talking about is gonna come out how you said. So the brands that participated and when we did it was Bloomingdale's as our corporate sponsor. And I just pitched it to them and explained it like, hey, it's gonna be 3D, it's gonna be immersive, people are gonna feel like they're there. And they were like, oh, this is so interesting. We want you to come, we're gonna sponsor your event, but we also want you to come inside the store and show it to customers and set up a little pop up in the store. And they
Mm-hmm.
had all the clothes that was in the show right there beside me, and people would walk over and be like, "What's going on over here?" And we show them, and they were enjoying the experience. And then when we did it live, where we had all the community come out and whoever wanted to see the show with the designers, we told them what we were going to do. They also got a clip of it, so when they paid to be a vendor, they got the clip in 2D and they got it in 3D. If they have a headset, they can use it in 3D. 3D. But if not, it's still like a commercial or advertisement for your clothes in 2D that you can use for content to promote that line. And then the other thing is it wasn't just a cool activation and experience, it was monetized. So this event was ticketed. People had to buy tickets to come. It was food, alcohol, valet. And the best thing is after they took the headset off, they were able to purchase everything they saw within the headset as well as more because the vendors were there. So we elevated the traditional pop-up shop that you would normally go to.
Right. We're getting it right off the runway.
Yes, pretty
Fresh
much.
off the runway. So
Yes.
I definitely love that. And like you said, it was a way for the designers, the vendors to really showcase their fashions in a creative way.
Yes.
Because as customers and clients, as we both know, working in the styling field, right? Like our clients come to us because they just don't know.
Yeah.
They can't visually see themselves in the clothes,
Yeah.
living their life in the clothes. So I think that providing them that visual,
Yeah.
helps them a lot.
Yeah.
So there's this thing in the fashion industry, especially the fashion weeks and
Yeah.
that take place all over the world. They're not as inclusive to creatives that look like you
Yeah.
and I, right?
Yes. Yes.
So when I say that, meaning that, we're not invited to the top shows, we're not sitting front row, we're not getting clothes loaned to
Yeah.
us and things like that, like other creatives and influencers are. So do you think that this is a way for our community, when I say our, I mean African American
Mhm.
community, to kind of be at the forefront of the next wave and what it looks like as far as fashion shows?
Definitely, I do think that us being creators and innovators, it is an opportunity to be able to like, hey, you can't fly to New York or Paris all the time for all the shows, or maybe you don't get access to actually get a seat at the show, but you could see it through VR. Even I think you can go to WWD and watch the shows like after they play anyway,
Right.
live stream. But the VR would make you feel like you were actually there, front row in Paris or New York or Milan. So I think it is a way to transport time, so to speak, without actually getting on a plane and a flight and the hotel and all the things that come with. I mean, of course, all of that is exciting. I've done New York Fashion Week, Milan, and Paris, and all of that, but you can't always do it. So this is a way you can still see the collection, feel like you was there, see things, the movement of everything, and feel like, hey, I want that garment. I want, runway piece 67 or whatnot, because you actually got to really see it up close with that immersive environment. The other thing I want to say back to what you said earlier about tech being, high level or sometimes confusing, we wanted to make it as user friendly as possible. So we didn't have take people to the metaverse. And a lot of times people think virtual reality only means metaverse, it only means gaming. I don't like games. So that didn't appeal to me anyway. So we filmed in a real environment. So when I say that, that means we didn't build a virtual world and use models as avatars. As you saw, those were real models wearing real clothes in a real environment. And when you film in a real environment, it really feels like you took the people there versus you building a virtual world. It feels more like you're in a game. And I know Gucci did that, a gaming kind of platform. They did Gucci in the Garden years ago, and they had exclusive digital items you could buy, but it was still more like a game by
Hmm.
Gucci. And then I know Louis Vuitton did something in 2020, and they kind of filmed the inside of his home, so that you can kind of get an immersive experience because everybody couldn't fly at that time. So there's
Right.
different ways to do it, but I haven't seen anybody doing it the way we're doing it.
Right. And just to kind of piggyback off of that, now I've been to like listening events for
Yeah.
artists, right?
Mhm.
Where and we know the typical listening party, you get into a studio,
Yeah.
they play the music, you get feedback. But at this event, everyone had their own set of headphones,
Mhm.
right? And so you can kind of listen to the music without the
Distraction.
distraction, involvement
Yeah.
of others around you,
Yeah.
right?
You're
Because
completely enclosed.
correct.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel about, what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? Like you have on your VR headset, you're not looking at other people that are in the space trying
Yeah.
to gauge what their reaction
Yeah.
to something is.
Yeah.
You're focused on what you're focused on. And
Yeah.
so I think that's a way to get like a true and honest assessment of what it is that you're doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you said not only fashion, what other industries have you guys produced content for as far as with your VR headsets?
We've been getting a lot of requests for like education. So you know how you have master class, but you could also do master class if it was more interactive. So like my partner is building a whole business around educating in tech. So like example, you go and take a karate class. Now you can take that karate class without going to the actual studio. You can put on a headset and mimic the movements because now you feel like you're in the same room as the instructor without actually being in the room. And the same thing with photography, with makeup. And I did do an activation with my Evonya just at a pop-up shop. I mean, we just brought the tech, but we were talking about building their living room, but making it more immersive. And then they could do hair tutorials where hairdressers are watching another hairdresser within the headset, but feeling like she's actually there at the salon with the girl and learning all the techniques and hair products that they're using. So it could be you. I mean, test driving a car. Instead of test driving a car, we could send you the headset and you could feel like you test driving a car without actually, because now you feel like you're in the car and you drive it. We had somebody else wanted us to do a plane for Black History Month, like Tuskegee Airmen. They wanted it to feel like once you put it on, you were in the plane and flying the plane like a pilot. So we've had these are the different ideas that people have presented to us and come across. We did a collab with a nonprofit in Salesforce in December, and then since then we was able to present at Revolt World as well because they wanted Black women in tech. That was like a year ago. So we just been pitching the opportunity, pitching the proposal to other people as well as people that are interested and letting them know we did it for fashion because of course that's my love in the industry I work in, but it can be used for so many other things.
Wow. And when you said the car,
Yeah.
that's what I thought about,
Yeah.
like the simulator, right?
Yes.
Even, airplanes,
Yeah.
training pilots
Yeah.
and things like that. So, wow. Wow.
So it's really
See?
just an open realm of possibilities. I, of course, wanted to pitch it first to retail and fashion because that's what I know. But now we're
Hmm.
getting a lot of response from other industries more that want to do it. So we're open.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting.
Oh, I see somebody in the comments. Do we talk to the people in the
Uh,
comments or we wait?
she'll put them up.
Okay.
I can't see the comments.
Oh, I see. Maybe you still got it on private chat from when we were talking earlier.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, she'll have it. Is there somewhere we can view
Oh,
the virtual show? I would love to see how it looks. You want to answer that?
sure. The thing is, of course, you can't really experience it unless you put the headset on. But The AJC covered it. Atlanta News First covered it. So if you go to the link in my bio, you can see behind the scenes of what they presented when they put it in the paper and when they put it on the news. So you can just see a little clip and it kind of lets you see what it was like. But to truly experience it, you would have to have the headset on.
Okay, and that kind of leads me to my next question, right? Because this is an experience that you need the actual
Headsets.
headset, right? So
It
how
can be
ex-
done on the phone too, but it's not the same experience. And even with the phone, you just moving your phone around. So like you can move your phone around and you'll feel like it, but you're easily distracted if something, oh wait a minute, and now you're not looking at your phone. So it's not the same thing, but it can be done on the phone. We've shown like a short clip to somebody on the phone where we're just sending them one clip of the show, like 30 seconds, so they can experience what it would be like if you can move it around.
you see me shaking my head?
Yes, because it's not the same thing.
It
So
ain't the
normally
same.
we always pitch in person for the people, or we can send the link if you have a VR headset, and we can send you a link and you're able to connect it that way.
Now, how accessible are these VR headsets? Is there a specific one that your program is synced to, or does it work with all of the headsets?
We have MetaQuest 3, which is their latest headset as of right now,
Okay.
but we did it with MetaQuest 2, and now we have all our own headsets. So when somebody asks us to do a show, not only can we create it, film it, edit it, but we can also present it for you and provide the headset so you don't have to. Because headsets are about $300 a piece.
So what's the capacity that you can accommodate?
150 as of now.
Y'all got 150 headsets?
So you don't need 150. We can present 150 because we have 10 headsets. And what we did is we timed them in intervals. So when we did our event 3 to 6, it was like 3:30 was the first showing, 4 o'clock was the next showing. And so we
Oh,
show like
you
10 to 20 people
rotate
at a time.
and you
Yes.
rotate.
Yes.
Okay, I like that business model. I'm like, cause don't nobody
Remember,
got
I was
time
an
to.
accountant before I got into this. So I'm all
She
about
like
what
the
makes
math.
sense.
She
Okay.
like the math gotta be mathing.
Yes. So I mean, you don't technically need 150 seconds because the thing is, it's an event, it's an experience. It's not
Right,
just a headset. So
right.
people are eating, they're drinking, they're
They're
networking, they're shopping.
networking. Yes,
So the
yes.
VIPs got to see the show first. They're 20 some minutes and then on to the next and so on and so forth. And we was able to do 150 people in 3 hours.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So
And back then we rented them. Now we own them.
I like that even better. Yes. So 2025.
Yes.
What does that look like for you guys?
Hopefully lots more VR activations for all type of industries. So I'm in conversation with different organizations, some nonprofits, some companies and corporations about what they want to do. Some of them want us to come in and do a VR education because a STEM component for kids. So come in and show them how to create their own show and bring our equipment and walk them step by step through what we did to create a show and help them, with their mood board, their theme, and it doesn't have to be fashion, but whatever it is they want to do and putting it together to film, edit, and then present. And then we have other people that want to do experiences or activations, using it for fundraising, like for impact. Like, hey, this is a ticketed event. You're going to come and you'll get this experience along with everything else that is happening at that event and using that money for fundraising for a good cause since we have a couple of nonprofit clients as well.
What about sports? I can see this really working in the sports space. Have you guys had any interest there?
We've had conversations with some sports organizations here in Atlanta, but we haven't been able to do anything as of yet because one of the people, like you, were saying they were scared of Meta. Now, the bad thing about it is when we presented, everybody at the table was interested, but the person who actually made the decision on it was in New York. So, of course, they just took it back and explained it how they explained it. And I don't think she got what we were doing because she probably just assumed, oh, VR, they're going to the metaverse. I don't want to do that. We don't want to have avatars. So we wasn't able to do that. And then the next team, they're still working out their activations because, of course, with companies, you're talking to a person, then they leave, and now they got to fill that position. So we're waiting on them to fill the position for us to talk. But some of the sports teams are interested in it for community events that they do around the city.
Because I can really see that in
And the
a,
NBA has like a meta. Some teams are in the metaverse, and some of the gaming they have it, but we're still
yeah,
trying to get in the space.
I could definitely see that in that kind of like interaction,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So how, if we're talking to like the casual consumer,
hmm
right? Not a techie.
yeah.
We ain't talking to Candace, you know, because Candace was
I'm
talking to
not
me
even
one
that
time.
much of a techie. I'm more of the logistics person. And
Okay.
as I say to him, he's the tech person. I'd be like, okay, you talking to me. I said, but now say it in English, okay? Because what you just said, that's not making sense. And I said, the thing is, when I'm talking, because I handle like the sales and just the logistics of an event, he literally only does the tech part. That's not his area of expertise. So I'm just like, you got to make it clear to me so that I can explain it to them when you start talking about all this other stuff. Because now we can
Yes.
do so much more than what we did when we first started. So he's like, well, we can incorporate AI, and while they in the headset, they could click it and then it'll take them to the website and they could buy it there too. Yes, we can do all those capabilities, but any extra feature is going to cost also extra money. So
Right.
a lot of times I think people think, oh, if it's virtual, then it's going to be cheaper. Not necessarily. It's going to be cheaper than, a New York runway fashion show, but it's not going to be cheap if you compared to your church fashion show or your
Right.
up the street fashion show, because the
Right.
technology is expensive. I mean, the headsets are $300 a piece. So, you know, we own them
Let's start
now, but I
there.
mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we renting them out.
Hmm.
When you hire us, the cost of us providing headsets included in the, total
Hmm.
project.
Yeah. So that's my thing. And even, coming into the STEM space
Yeah,
from the fashion space,
yeah,
and it's like you're educating
yeah.
them simultaneously and pitching all at the same
Yes,
time, because it's like you have
definitely.
to explain what it is, what the benefit is, and
Mhm.
then you have to pitch for them to come on board. So it's like
Yeah,
you're doing a multitude of things
definitely.
simultaneously,
Yes, for sure.
right?
For
Yeah,
sure.
so that's where the not, I don't want to say it's an issue,
Yeah.
but that's where the disconnect
Yes,
kind of
can
comes
be for
in.
sure.
Yeah.
Especially since it's not something everybody's doing. So, I mean, obviously, oh, I want to have a fashion show. They know what a fashion show is, even if they've never been to one. They know models walk down the runway and they wear clothes. Like, you have a general idea, but when you're talking about VR in general, not let alone whatever's in it, fashion show or something else, it's still like, wait a minute, what? How does that
Right.
work? I've never had a
Right.
headset on. I've never seen one. I never tried one. Will it give me a headache? Will it make motion sick? All kind of stuff. So, yeah, it is a lot because you're educating, pitching, and trying to get them to buy into this new idea that everybody is not doing. But I always say it's like a blockbuster Netflix thing. Nobody wanted to buy into Netflix in the beginning. Oh no, we rent videos, and now the blockbuster don't even exist. And somebody
Red
young
box.
listening to
We go
this
to we go to
might
red
be like,
box.
"What is a blockbuster?" So my thing is get on board now. So you're Netflix and you're not Blockbuster, because the future is
It's
technology,
here.
and
It's
it's
here.
about my thing is I don't want technology to replace humans. I'm always like technology and humans can work hand in hand, which is why
Hmm.
we use real models instead of building models in a digital world, using a real space. Using real designers' clothes instead of just making clothes, and because we could create all that in a virtual world.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't want to dress your avatar. I want to dress you because I'm still a stylist. I still wear clothes. And my thing is, all of my clients and my community and my network, we go outside. So we need
Yeah.
clothes for our real life people, not our avatars and our metaverses. Like we're not going to the metaverse to hang out. We're going out actually to dinner. Okay.
We're going to MCK.
Yes. We're going out. And so we need real clothes, and
Yeah.
they want to see it on real bodies, in real people. So I'm not trying to make the technology inaccessible to real people, as well as, like I said, user friendly. So you don't have to feel like I'm not technology
Savvy enough.
advanced enough to do
Enough.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that a lot of us in our community are afraid of technology. We're afraid that it's going to replace
Yeah,
humans. And it's like you said, it's here as an assistance, it's here
yeah,
as a tool,
yeah,
it's here as another way to see things,
yeah,
because this is what I go through, even like in my STEM program.
yeah,
It's like, hey, technology, AI, all that stuff is here.
yeah,
And we in the African American community, we tend to be the last
Yeah,
ones
and you don't want
to
to get left
depart.
behind.
We can't afford to.
Yeah,
Like we got left behind when in the internet age,
yeah,
right? Because I remember when the internet first came out, like a lot of black people didn't have home computers
yeah,
to where they could teach their kids
yeah.
about the internet. And the internet has dominated our lives for almost the past 30 years,
Yes.
right? And we still don't really understand it, how to navigate it, how to use it,
Yeah,
how
because
to
my mom
build
don't
it.
even shop online still. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the store." I was like, "Mom, I can order it for you online." Well, you order it for me, but I'm not gonna.
Right. And so you and
I'm not putting
so
my information on them people
and
internet.
girl, they not putting their information in the people thing, honey. That's how my aunt is. I can't do it. I can't do I be like, girl, it's a button.
Yeah,
Push the
I was like, "It's
button.
so easy. You don't have, no them people not having. Who is them people?" But okay, I got it. Well, they got all
But
my information because I'm shopping online and everything.
child, child, I just done got breached. They got me. They got all they got everything. But and so that's the thing, right? It's like we can't afford to miss another
Opportunity. Yeah,
opportunity, and this is the opportunity.
yeah,
So I'm really glad that people like you, people like myself are stepping into this space understanding that we might not be the best credentialed
yeah,
to be in this space, but we understand that there's a need and there's
yeah,
an opportunity for our
yeah,
community, and we're doing the work,
yeah.
to really bridge
The
that
gap.
gap.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so I think that is just super super duper important.
yeah.
So the future of virtual reality, right? Where do
Mhm.
you see this going in the next 5, 10, 15 years as it relates to how consumers engage with brands?
I think if they get to the point where it's so popular, then the VR headsets will become more affordable. Even though, I mean, we do have these expensive behind iPhones. So, I mean, technically it can be affordable depending on, I mean, and even a Mac or even a laptop is still a higher price point. But I say that once VR headsets become more accessible, then more people have access to it. And then they would be able to use it to shop the same way we get on a computer and shop online or on our phone and shop online. But now maybe we put the headset on and now we feel like we're actually in that store shopping and we can click, the digital. I mean, we can click the outfit on a model in the store on the mannequin, click it, and now it's in our cart. Or we can look at the different colorways or see the different sizes, see it from a 180-degree angle without ever leaving our houses. So I think it's just about making it user friendly, making it more accessible to the masses, and then they get more used. Because I mean, we already have like some virtual try on. You have where you can put in even your measurements so you can get a better fit in some websites. So I think stores and retailers are trying all the different things they can. One, to lessen their returns, and two, be able to sell as many garments as possible by making sure you can really get an idea of what that garment looks like without seeing it in person at the store.
Yeah. And you said something that I didn't think was an issue, but I had saw some articles on it about stores really limiting the returns that they have. That was crazy to me.
Yeah,
Like some
returns is like $1 billion industry, and it's like it's really nothing you can do because people are ordering a bunch of stuff online. If it don't fit, they returning it, or they
yeah,
ordering size 10, 12, 14 and returning the other two because they don't know
what's
what
going to
the fit's
fit.
gonna be.
Yeah, so
Because we
that's
wear a
why the
different size in every designer.
every designer. I don't wear the same size as Zara that I wear in Neiman's. Like
Yeah,
it's different. So that makes sense. And then even with like on the more shadier side, right? Like the influencers,
yeah,
right? They're buying all this stuff, they're wearing it, they're posting it, and then
and returning it.
they're sending it back
Or
because
some
it
of
never.
them just trying it on in the fitting rooms and not even purchasing it, and then they just leave it.
Now that's what you call a virtual try on.
Yes, yes. for sure.
but but even, aside from clothing, the
Yeah,
makeup industry, the beauty
same.
industry has really taken to the virtual
Yes.
try-ons, trying on
A
foundation,
lipstick you could try on.
lipsticks,
I've seen that one. Yeah,
foundations, and
yeah,
things like that. So, like I try to tell my parents, of my students, like I tell my students, like, it's here.
yeah,
So either you're gonna get with it, or you're gonna be left behind.
yeah.
There's no getting
Getting
around
around
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just was really, really impressed with
Thank
the
you.
vision. Like, I was just like, whoa, this is really dope.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was a
this is
lot. I mean,
really
I
dope.
definitely was like, girl, what you getting into? Because I mean, I created it first. Now people hire us to do stuff now, but when we first did it, that was us putting it on. Luckily, I didn't lose any money. I actually was able to get a teeny tiny profit margin, but it was close. It was like, because this costs more than what we would normally do, because again, we pre-recorded the show versus if it had been a live show. So that was money in itself. Paying the models to come and pre-record, paying makeup, renting a venue to record it.
Videographers, all the
Yes.
things.
And then again, bringing the models back out. Luckily, I had a makeup sponsor. So when I brought them back out for the live show, because we actually did let the models walk through the event at the live
Okay.
event. So they got to see the models in person and at least one of the garments. But I'm just saying, it was almost like paying twice to do a show to
Mm-hmm.
make it unique. But it was definitely worth it. And like I said, it created a whole nother revenue stream in my business, a whole nother service offering I have for companies and corporations, especially now I'm more into B2B. And when I started my business, I never thought about working with companies. I only thought about
Right,
working with
working with
individual
customers.
clients. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Like I said, I think the pandemic really, it did some great things for entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
It opened up different lanes. It forced us to be creative. It
Yeah.
forced us to
Think
think
outside the box.
outside of the box. Yeah, and I think, during that time, it gave us the opportunity to kind of strategize and activate,
Yeah.
and now you're able to kind of continue to grow it,
Yeah.
further.
Yeah.
So I think
For
that's
sure.
amazing. Do we have any questions in the chat? I can't see the chat.
Let me look. I know Stacy's handling it, I think.
Okay.
Uh I know she just put in the link where they could go behind the scenes and see the clip, but I don't think we have
Okay.
any other questions. Or
Okay.
at least I don't see them. So she didn't
Okay.
flash them across. So I guess it's cool.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So, yes, hold on. I think I see
I
one. Do you
see
see one?
something. No. No, she
Can
said no, it's none. It's fine.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So, moving along,
Mhm.
just thinking about, I'm like, my mind is going so crazy, and it just keeps going back to the sports aspect, because that's
Yeah.
something that I'm really passionate about. So
Yeah.
I hope in the future that is an opportunity for you guys, because I can just see that being something really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So
We're
before we
working on it.
yeah, no, it's gonna
we
come.
we have been talking to some different teams here and just continuing the conversation, but we was at least
Mhm.
able. I had a client at Atlanta Hawks, so that helped
Oh,
at least to get the conversation started. And then they
mhm.
introduced me to another team, and so I'm at least having the conversations and I at least
Yeah,
got the relationship. So foot in the door and just trying
door.
to you
Yes.
know, motivate them to figure out when is the right time and how they want to place it in that. Because I mean, it's not for everybody in the arena per se, but your
Right.
season ticket holders or those private events they
And the
do.
sweets and things like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like
It's
that.
just
So,
yeah, it's just the added something to differentiate,
yes.
yourself from it. So I really look forward to you guys stepping into that space.
Yeah.
So before we head out,
Hmm.
um the Science of Beauty HBCU tour is 60 days away. I am excited. I'm anxious. I'm
Congrats.
scared. Thank you so much. So this year we'll be at three institutions. We'll be at Spelman College, June 16th through the 20th. We'll be at Xavier in New Orleans, June 30th through July 3rd, and then we'll be at North Carolina A&T July 14th through the 18th. So I'm super excited about that. If you have a young girl age 14 to 17 that's interested in skincare and hair care and body care and all the things in the beauty space as it relates to STEM, make sure you visit the scienceofbeauty.net, the Summer of Science HBCU tour. You can register. Registration is now open, and we have slots left. So make sure you guys check into that. And then also, I have um our STEM kits
Nice.
that are getting ready to launch. They're on pre-sale. So this is our first one. This is a body kit. So this is like a DIY. This is like a DIY body kit. Young girls can order it. We ship it to them. It's a QR code inside. They scan it. An instructional video will come up. They'll be able to make three body products out of
Oh,
the
how neat.
box. Yeah, and it's just a cool way for them to experience a little piece of the science of beauty
Yeah.
and just kind of understand the formulation process and things like that. So we're really excited about that.
I love
Like,
that. I went to a perfume making class one time and I enjoyed it. And I
yeah.
love the scent that I made, but it was like, put this amount in and do it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
cool.
and you really got to see it from a formulation side
Yes,
as opposed to just a consumer side.
yes.
So that was kind of the thing. That was kind of the thought
Idea of it.
process
Yeah.
in developing. And then I can't be everywhere all the time, like I don't want to be running around doing camps all year, so it's like order the STEM kit
Yeah.
and then get
Now you
somebody
can
else
do
to
it
do it.
yourself at home.
Yes, yeah, and
Maybe
then
if
you
you
can
have
do it.
siblings, y'all could do it together or with your
Correct.
parents or whatever.
Correct, and you can do it at your own pace, so it's just
Now, will you
a.
be selling those to schools so they can
Yeah, so
emulate it?
there'll be like organizations have
Yeah.
contacted me, the Girl Scouts, organization Jack and Jill, organizations like
Awesome.
that already work with girls that want to find a way to incorporate a STEM component
Yeah.
into their programming. So, yeah, that's the
Cool.
goal. That's the goal.
Awesome.
Yeah, so before we leave, you want to share your socials and your websites
Yeah.
where people can
Yeah,
contact
y'all
you
can
at?
find me at loveefashion.com, styled by Love E, and of course, my Instagram, Love Evonya, but my business page is styled by Love E. And then my name is so unique. If you Google my name, all my stuff gonna come up because I haven't met another Evonya as of yet. So I think I
And
might
that's
be the
on
only.
period.
I
I
might be
see
the only one.
three.
I've been trying to find somebody with my name and the exact spelling. So far, none.
I see three in the chat. What is that?
I think that's just the links to see the show. And somebody said, "Yay, Spellman."
Okay. Yes. Hopefully you can come by. It's gonna be
Yeah, for
amazing.
sure.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
gonna
Look,
be
that's where we met
amazing.
in person at anyway, but
Yeah,
still.
at Spelman. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So you guys, thank you so very much
Thank you again
for
for having me.
no, I listen, I had a list when I started this webinar series, because at the event at Spelman,
Yeah.
Candace was like, I'll host you. And then when she said the metaverse, I was like, girl, no. I ain't coming over there. And then we had to get on a call and she had to
Yeah.
explain it to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so I had a list of, people that I
Yeah.
wanted to bring
I don't like
on.
to go in the metaverse either. I mean, like me and my tech partner, sometimes I have meetings within like he's at his house, I'm at my house, and we put the headset on. And the last time we had a meeting, like anybody can walk in if you're not in the private room. And somebody walked in and they started fighting him. I mean, fighting his avatar or whatever. But I was just like, why? I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, I agree. I like my controlled environments when I create my VR.
Like I can't get jumped in
Hey,
the
last but not
metaverse.
least, so if they want a true 3D
So like
world,
this is a
then they can
virtual
take the
world.
inspiration, like the rooms that they
One of
have
his
set up
virtual worlds that he created.
on their website, and kind of
Your
recreate it in
partner?
a space
Hmm.
that looks like the website, but people can kind of walk around, they can move around.
Because we had showed
This
it
is
to
an example of
Maya
what
Vanna
mine
so
looks
they could
like. This
create a
was a
virtual world, like an
custom
example.
design for
But
my
he built the
needs.
whole house,
So
like
just
in
to
the
kind of show
virtual
you a little
world.
bit of the world, of
Girl, he
course,
got a
you can
beach.
put like a skybox, which only means what the world looks like
So
that
yeah,
it's
that's the one he
in.
built for himself.
Of course, I can go up these steps here I have
That's his
it's
private
just like a
world, though.
two-story building with the gallery
So you can't just pull up to
up
his house
top
No,
for my
you
unexpected.
can't.
purposes.
You got to
But of
be
course,
invited.
theirs can be whatever it needs to be with branding, of
He's
course,
very
store,
innovative,
uh,
and
videos
like I
for
said, he's
their
the tech
training and
part of
material, that type of thing.
our business as
All right,
far as
hope that
actually
helps.
implementing it. I envision it,
Hey,
and he will
lovey, Corey
implement
Reese
it.
here. Just wanted to make this quick
And
video
then
for
that
you
was
so you can
when
kind
we
of
were
see
in
what's
my
going on.
Ivana's
So
living
this is
room
what the
and
website
showing
looks
it in
like
3D in
within
the
the
headset.
VR world. We can have it all blacked out, so that's all they see. And then anything that you can do on
But if
your
we had
phone
built
and
to my
desktop, you can do the
whole
same thing
house, then we would be able to walk
within the
around like
actual
how we
headset. So
did
this is my hand right
in
here,
his.
hand tracking. I can click on the
And then you
different
can see your
items
hand
here.
while you're in there
Like I said, the
if
same
you want.
way that you would click on different items on your phone and your computer, you can kind of do the same thing. The other way to be able to view this, if they wanted to be able to still see their own
So we were just
environment, you would just
explaining.
click this little pass through
Oh,
icon
that's the
here,
living
and that
room.
way, wherever the
Yes.
hall is that they're in, let's close this really quickly, and then I can actually bump this light up. So if
I
they're
should have sent them
in the hall,
the
obviously
clip
you
for
will
the
be able to
show.
still see
So then they
the
could have showed
environment.
that
So
as
those
well.
are the two ways that you can actually
Oh,
do this.
girl, you see what I'm saying?
Let me know if that helps.
Wow. Yeah, girl, girl, y'all got it. Y'all got it. I'll make sure I tap in before I just pull up on y'all metaverse crib.
Oh,
That is insane. But sweetheart, thank you so very
thank
much.
you.
This was amazing. I was so excited about this.
I was excited to be asked to do the conversation because I
Yeah,
know we had met. I showed it to you, and then we both was busy doing our own things. So when you reached, I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's what's up. Thank you for
Let's
thinking of
do
me."
it. Let's do it. So until the next time, thank you so much to our amazing hosts, my Ivana. They let us
Yes,
come in
thank
their
you,
house.
Candace and Stacy.
Yes, yes, yes. Make sure y'all download the My Ivana app.
Yes,
Stacy, thank you so much for your tech support. Candace, thank you so much for hosting us and always just being a trailblazer in
yes,
this space. Make sure you guys look out for Science of Beauty HBCU tour coming to three illustrious HBCUs this summer: Spelman College, Xavier, and North Carolina A&T. You can visit us at www.thescienceofbeauty.net. And we are out. Thank you guys.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.